If the minister has no idea if millions of temporary residents have left and has no plan to remove them, why is she still issuing new permits?
It happens again and again every day. Welcome back to Moose and Loose. My name's David. Today we've got the Liberals failing again, not making deals with a huge group of ministers from over 50 countries around the world down in America. Just another failure. We've got Melanie Joly humiliating herself again. Immigration is not getting fixed. We've got Michelle Rumpel-Garner calling this out in the House of Commons. We also got Pierre calling out the terror lords the Liberals are letting stay here. Let's jump into this. We've got this one from the Reclamaire. It says Poilievre was mocked by El Bozo, lefty elbows up Canadians, for taking a flight in an economy class seat. Mr. Carney, on the other hand, is living like a Saudi royalty courtesy of taxpayers over 9 flights. His in-flight catering bill is $300,000, averaging $3,400 per hour flown. So posting some data here. I mean, this is absolutely staggering. And I wanted to look at the source numbers for myself. And we have them right here on the Government of Canada website. You can see Parliament of Canada at the top here. This was a question that was posed to Parliament. It was just tabled a couple days ago. And what do we have here? So Paris, France last year, $39,000 hotel accommodations. We've got London, England, $36,000. Washington, D.C., $48,000. Holy See, $133,000. Netherlands, $141,000, and Brussels, $73,000. And though there's also here a cost of in-flight catering. France, it was $7,000. London, $52,000. $21,93, $49,33. Another $16,000, $24,000. I mean, this is so wasteful. How do you spend $52,000 on catering, in-flight catering? What are they eating? Golden crusted escargot and caviar? Bread freshly made in France and then shipped over to them? I mean, we have Canadians, 2.2 million people going to food banks every month, and this is what they're spending our money on. Jumping over to another committee, you got to check out this clip.
Last question. Would you personally drive a Chinese-made EV? Yes or no?
You wouldn't?
I said, would you?
But my question is,
I'm the one asking the questions here. You're the one answering.
I'm asking a question
You're the
to
government.
you.
I'm asking you.
You're here to answer our questions.
The point of the committee is that the committee members ask you questions.
I'm willing to
Are you
drive
serious?
a very great...
You're asking me? I'm asking
One
you.
person at a
Canadian
time.
People are asking
Please,
you.
MP Ho, your time is up. MP Ho, your time is up.
I'll just finish, Chair. I'm willing to drive a great Canadian-made vehicle, and that will be my focus. I hope
Minister?
it's yours.
So you won't.
This is outrageous. She's asking questions now. That's not how the government works. I believe a Conservative representative should be in attendance at all these so-called meetings overseas to keep in Canada's best interest. Yeah, I mean, that's what we should have, is a Conservative and an NDP in a bloc should all be allowed to be visiting all of these meetings to know what's going on. Typical Liberals, rules for thee, not for me. Next up, we got the situation where Anita Nand went down to America. There's a critical minerals gathering here, as it says, international gathering taking place after Trump announced Monday the launch of Project Vault, a strategic reserve for rare earth elements. And basically, Anita Nand did not join us up for this. Vice President J.D. Vance told a room filled with foreign ministers and officials at the U.S. State Department the goal to diversify global supply in the critical minerals market will strengthen the partner countries who help all of us in the shared effort. We're all on the same team, Vance said. And while Canada defers spot in U.S. critical minerals pact, this is getting ridiculous.
And why there is no agreement coming out of this between Canada and the United States when key allies like Europe, Japan, and Mexico seem to have reached some sort of an understanding?
Well, to begin, David, Canada's only signing deals that are favorable to our economic and our national security interests. We're not looking to sign sector by sector deals, and we are looking forward to the comprehensive CUSMA review. We do need to understand the composition of what the U.S. is putting on.
And why there is
50 countries show up here to do this, signing agreements, and we're not one of them. At what point do Canadians come to the conclusion the Carney government is deliberately killing Canada's economy? I don't know. Hopefully soon. This is outrageous. These Liberals need to go. There has to be something in our laws in Canada that states when the government is actively destroying the country, they can be removed. This just has to be. I agree. There should be some sort of referendum vote that we can hold to get rid of a corrupt government.
From failed economic liberal policy to failed immigration liberal policy, Liberals have unleashed an extortion crisis by allowing Bishnoi gangsters into our country without screening. Now, they are allowing them to stay here by even after they're convicted if they make a phony refugee claim. Conservatives moved a motion at committee to kick extortionists out of our country after they've been convicted. Liberals voted it down.
Wow.
Will they join with us, stop obstructing, pass an amendment to the law so that we can kick extortionists and fake refugee claimants out of Canada?
You have to wonder why Liberal voters support this kind of stuff. Oh, we just want to keep these terror lords in our country. Totally fine. Why are they okay with it? This one thing alone should cause everyone to not vote for the Liberal Party. Who would want to have terror lords running around in our own country being protected by the Canadian government? The only justification is, well, it's not bothering me. People living in their Laurentian mansions on the St. Lawrence there, not affected by the gangsters yet. When they do finally get the knock of the door or the pew-pew through the window, maybe they'll change their mind.
Mr. Speaker, when it comes to extortion, the Conservatives have been uniquely unhelpful in advancing the laws that police are telling us they need to combat extortion. I received a message this morning from Patrick Brown, the Mayor of Brampton, saying that the Peel Regional Police have asked him to pass along the message that the Strong Borders Act is necessary to provide lawful access to help law enforcement break up extortion rings. Mr. Speaker, for months they have obstructed measures that were going to make bail and sentencing tougher on extortionists. It's one thing to stand up and make noise in the House of Commons. It's another to get the laws adopted. Let's do the job Canadians demand.
Let me get this straight. Sean Fraser, being the immigration minister before, opened up the doors for all these people to flood into Canada, unvetted, flooding into our streets. And then he votes in favor of the awful bail not jail system that Trudeau brought in, which then allows these people to commit all sorts of heinous crimes in our country and not be prosecuted, get house arrest, if that. And now he's blaming the Conservatives for not wanting to help them pass their new bail system, which is just another failed version of what they already have. Once again, if these criminals were at his house in Nova Scotia and went after his family and his kids, maybe he'd actually want to change the laws. We got another clip here. Kate Harrison dropping truth bombs. They're talking about castle law here. Cochrane trying to do another spin.
Kate, what are your thoughts on the policy direction delegates were voting for there?
Yeah, well, just 2 points of clarification. The stand your ground or castle laws actually doesn't speak about firearms whatsoever. That has to do with self-defense if somebody is breaking into your home. I recall a case that happened in my hometown of Lindsay, Ontario, where somebody who was broken into used some self-defense and force and ended up being arrested in the process, but despite being the victim of a B&E. So this is a response to instances like that. The immigration reforms had to do with people that are here who commit crimes and what happens to those people. So it's not a broadly anti-immigration sentiment. I think what
there was a call for restricting immigration and tightening immigration controls, but not in an anti-immigration way, more like screening and these sorts of things, right?
And I think Poilievre, made that very clear in his stance. He said, these things need to be linked to ability to access homes, ability to access healthcare, and making sure that we're not overextending. So I would observe that these are policies that are likely to be very popular, not just with Conservatives, but with Canadians broadly. We've seen that particularly on immigration, where you have at least 2/3 of Canadians saying things have gotten out of control. So I think it's sensible that they would be adopted into the policy platform document or the policy proposal document, particularly when I think there is an opportunity for Poilievre to draw some contrast on these domestic issues vice the Prime Minister.
Brad, only 77% to defund the CBC. I feel like we're growing on them, but that's just me.
So there's a poll that came out that said that 77%. I mean, when it comes down to it, these guys just lie on here all day long. They're pushing liberal propaganda. I mean, why are they there? This should be against the law, what they're doing. This is basically North Korea light, not full-blown Kim Jong-un propaganda, but we're getting there. So good on Kate Harrison here, sticking on the facts, sticking on the points. I mean, immigration is disaster. Castle law needs to come in sooner than later because we've got people like this. So this is on a European bus. I believe it says Europeans are learning what mass immigration really looks like. We've got a guy here who's got a pokey in his hand down here, and he pokes this lady, or is a guy, I'm not sure, right here, I think in the shoulder. This guy's just standing here. You can see the pokey there, and then he just decides, I don't know what.
Вот и все.
I think it's a guy who got it in the shoulder. Why? Why is he standing there with a pokey? Why did he do that? This should be treated as attempted murder. 40 years in jail. You're working every day. Don't work, don't eat. After 40 years, deport him. Make sure we're getting more value out of the work he does every single day in the jail to pay for his stay and his food. And after he's done his sentence, we send him back home. If Europe wants to survive, they should legalize pew-pews for born citizens only. Then this would end rapidly. That would be wild. Moving ahead, we've got this one. Canadians grow increasingly hostile towards immigration. A record high share of Canadians now say effects of immigration on the nation are mostly negative. You bet they are. We're not bringing in the doctors and engineers. We're bringing in very few of those people, mostly people who are not contributing to society or, in fact, attacking society. It's interesting. So we got a comment here saying the unspoken truth is immigrants are more hardworking than Canadians. Well, one calls in at work, I think calls in sick at work at every slight opportunity. The other would still find a way to work. What we're seeing is Canada is built by immigrants, good, hardworking people who want to build their life. And now we're getting a bunch of gangsters and goons being flooded slotted in as immigrants. People with no skills, low skills that are just a complete drain on society. It's tainting the image, especially people from India, good hardworking people from India that came over, now being tainted by all these gangsters that have come in, not to mention all the immigrants from around the world that fought their way to get in here. And then now the image of immigration is getting soured by, well, what the Liberals did. Well, I understand where this comment's coming from. People who want to build a new life coming from another country will work hard. That doesn't mean people born here don't work hard either.
Mr. Speaker, the Liberals issued millions of temporary resident permits in the last 5 years. The result? Rents have skyrocketed, emergency rooms are overflowing, and Canada's youth jobs crisis is the worst that it's ever been. 1.5 million temporary residents had their permits expire last year, and that's more than the entire population of Calgary. So a simple question, can the Minister of Immigration tell the House how many of these folks have actually left the country as the law requires them to do?
The Honourable Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Canadians gave this government a clear mandate to bring sustainability to our immigration system. That's right. We've been clear we are reducing the temporary resident population. Our student numbers are down, our worker number are down. The temporary resident population fell by 176,000, and our asylum numbers are down by a third. We will stick to our...
Everything has gone up like 5 times, so bringing it down 5% doesn't do anything. These guys are bringing in over 2 million people, and we build 250,000 homes a year. That math doesn't add up. And stack that year over year, no wonder our country's broken.
Targets, we will enforce our rules so that immigration system works for Canadians, for newcomers, and for our businesses. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
It doesn't work. I've already done the math on this. It's like 3,000 people per day they're bringing in. No wonder everything's completely bursting at the seams.
Sneaking suspicion she wouldn't answer that one because she actually boasted in the Canadian press that they brought in millions of temporary residents with no way to track if they would leave. Worse, the minister has signed off on bringing hundreds of thousands of more temporary residents this year without knowing if they will leave. At the end of this year, 3 million temporary residents will have had their visas expire. That's roughly the population of Toronto. If the minister has no idea if millions of temporary residents have left, why is she still issuing new permits?
Again, for the members' benefit, Canadians gave this government a clear mandate to bring immigration to sustainable numbers. That is exactly what we're doing. In the Globe and Mail, January 15th, great article in there. TD stats show as well that the rent is decreasing, housing starts are up.
Oh yeah, the Globe and Mail, also quoting TD. The Globe and Mail just posted this on X. Opinion, so many traditional Tories now supporting Carney Liberals. Letter to the editor. And I went off on them here. I said, it's astonishing how you haven't called out a single one of Carney's conflicts of interest and call yourself Canada's National News Organization, which is what it says here when you look at right there, Canada's National News Organization. Why is some non-journalist Canadian citizen doing a better job than your entire news organization at investigating our Prime Minister? And you can see here, just in a matter of 1 hour, I've already ratioed their entire post. 194 likes on theirs. I have 324 in 1 hour. Our media is completely corrupt.
There's been economic recovery. We're bringing more population to our rural communities through our rural immigration pilot, as well as the Francophone immigration. We are here to strengthen our communities, bring labor gaps, and fill those when needed. Thank you.
Yeah, Canadians don't like that, though. They don't like it in rural Saskatchewan or rural Manitoba or Yukon when suddenly there's thousands of people from South Asia just show up in their community and then they don't follow the same rules and adhere to the same level of cleanliness or any sort of cultural norms. People don't like garbage everywhere. In Canada, we don't want that culture here. When people come in, they should have to do a test. If they fail the test, they can't come in. And some of those questions need to be, is it okay to litter? Is it okay to fish in any river? The answer is no. You have to check if you're allowed to, if it's spawning season. People coming in have to follow our rules and have to assimilate into our culture, not replace it. That's why small cultures don't want thousands of people replacing their local culture there.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like you to kind of visualize the math lady gif for a moment, because last year, the Liberals only removed 22,000 people who had no legal reason to be in Canada. So millions minus 22,000 is still what? Millions! I'll ask again. If the minister has no idea if millions of temporary residents have left and has no plan to remove them, Why is she still issuing new permits?
It's going to be a test today. The Honorable Minister.
Monsieur le Président, comme j'ai dit, notre mandat.
As I said,
she just got humiliated, so she switches to French. No clean soundbite.
Our mandate is clear. Canadians gave us a clear mandate.
Clear mandate is to get out of government. There's your mandate.
We are working to re-establish a firm immigration system. Recent data has shown that the population has gone down. Temporary residents have...
This is all nonsense. So, yeah, we reduced it by 10 people, so don't worry. We brought in millions. We reduced it 22,000. Like, give me a break. Got this one here I thought was interesting from Shazi Goli. Canadian-born, no street candy, no record. Willing to do any job. 43,000 applications, 0 offers. This is what the job market looks like in Canada today. This is posted on Reddit. You know, it's not confirmed, but it is what it is. It's a post. Recently unemployed, applied to 4,300 jobs and nothing. Construction, nothing. General labor, nothing. Tim Hortons, HomeSense, mall security, nothing. Heck, tried Uber. Apparently in my area is saturated and I cannot apply now. I should try later with other apps. Did I do something wrong? Am I doing something wrong? The only thing this person could have done wrong is vote for the Liberals. This is just sad. 400 IT job applications, 3 phone call interviews by recruiters, 2 turned out to be sales calls for IT certifications. 3rd made it to Zoom, who tried to pitch me on IT certifications. I mean, what do we do? Our country is falling apart here. Crazy. We must do something as Canadians to redynamize the job market. Yeah, it's vote out the Liberals. That's what we got to do.